Hello and welcome back. In this video I'm going to be printing a black test cube based on the previous test cubes that we produced with the test cube that's on the memory stick supplied by Artillery. So the grey cube was the very first one I did, and then I printed the white one to basically check the machine's consistency, and I have to say I'm incredibly impressed. They are, it's very accurate and very smooth and just very impressive. So what I wanted to do now was check just one more cube, but with black filament this time. So here I've got my black filament, and I'm just going to load it here, and then I'm going to feed it through the filament sensor. And then we come down and into the print head. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just switch to handheld, and we can actually see the loading process once again. So it wasn't long ago that I actually extracted the white filament. You can see it's just still up to temperature. So what we can do now is to just wind that back a little bit. So essentially what we do is, on our control panel we've gone into tools and then filament, and what I want to do is in. Now one of the things I found is that I wasn't pushing the filament in quite far enough, and essentially I'm pushing it into the hole here, and I get to that point, I pushed it back, and then I pushed it in a little bit, push this little lever back. But what I needed to do was actually push the lever back further and then push the filament in as far as it will go, and you can kind of feel it go a little bit further and then in, and that's it. You need to kind of go as far as you can without putting too much pressure on this switch and without putting too much pressure on that, but it just gives, and it goes that little bit further. And then that, all being well, when I press in and then confirm and come back up here, I can feel it feeding. And we should see in a moment, this is the previous white filament, and there's a bit more white filament there coming out of it, and then we've got the black filament. So that's loaded correctly, and it should stop in a second. There you go. It says load filament complete, press confirm, and I press confirm, and I'll just get rid of this. A little bit hot. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and we're going to go to print, and then we select the USB stick or folder, and we've got our test cube there. So this is the original test cube supplied on the Artillery memory stick, and the same code and G-code file that we've used for both cubes so far. And so now what we can do is select that and basically click confirm, and this is going to get everything going. We can see the print head is already up to temperature. We can see the bed is starting to get up to temperature, 36, 37, it's aiming for 80, and the fan isn't on yet, but the fan does come on when it starts printing. So that must be in the print file's settings that it does need the fan, and I think it comes on about half speed, at 145, 125 or something like that. So I'm going to switch over to time lapse, and then we can see our black cube printing. And our test print is now finished with the black filament. If I just remove it from the bed, I'm just going to remove the plastic from around the base. So that's interesting. So the plastic is a little bit more difficult to remove than the previous one. Made a bit of a mark there, just a bit of a depression. It's just sticking out slightly, so that can probably be tidied up quite easily. But overall, once again, the quality of the print is very, very good, very consistent. A little rough on top again, but that was consistent with all of the cubes. But overall, that is very, very, very good, very consistent. I'm very pleased with that. So yeah, interesting experiment. So now I think what I need to do is try to go back to printing my cone and trying to identify what issues I had with my cone to try to get the similar results as this, where it's solid, smooth and very well formed. So hope you found this interesting, and I'll be back in my next video. Thank you for watching.